Welcome to EMERJ TV, the podcast where the industry's most talented video and film professionals share their stories. From the directors and cinematographers to the editors, voice artists, and on-camera talent. Each episode hosted by Reginald Smith as he sits down for free-flowing conversations about how they got their start, who inspired them, and what it's really like working in production. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some behind-the-scenes conversation about production. This is EMERJ TV. EMERJ TV.
Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of EMERJ TV. Thanks for watching. Have another friend of mine who we've known each other since before a lot of people that we know have been born.
Most of the world.
It's Mark Stacy, world traveling camera operator for
Everybody.
Olympics, NBA,
Whatever.
baseball, Major League Baseball, whatever.
A lot of football.
Yeah. But glad to see you. It's been a while since we've seen each other.
It has been, right?
I had conversations with a few guys, with Ken and Jim and Bob, and we talked about, what kind of crew we were at TV3, and how everybody who has come out of there, at least in our little, well, I won't say our little group, but in our crew, where they have all gone,
A lot of people have moved really far forward.
Yeah.
And the guy, I guess Ken was telling me he talked to Ed Ziemba, who was, the boss, and he says, man, some of the guys that I had back in when we start, early 80s, mid 80s, have really moved on and done some amazing things. And it was a great place to start. I didn't even know where Taylor was when I first started.
Well, I had heard of it.
I'd heard of it, sure.
But
the bowling alley was the biggest thing next door.
Yeah. I have an admission to make to you.
Okay.
So, well, when I came to TV3,
Yes.
all I saw was all these people have gone to college for this. So I think it was like in August when I first came.
Okay. Of whatever year. We don't
Of
care.
82.
82. Okay.
Before that, all I had was 3 months of production experience from zero.
Wow.
So I looked at you and I looked at John and I looked at Ken and Bob and I thought, these guys, they're like far beyond me. So I didn't say anything. You know what I mean? Like we talked and stuff like that, but I never talked about what I knew or how long I'd been doing because you guys would talk about stuff and I go, what? What are they talking about? Like the first time I was on audio, I was doing audio.
Yeah.
And John Weir and I forgot the other engineer's name, Dave Budwash.
Dave Budwash. Oh my gosh.
I know. They were talking about an audio pad. And I'm sitting there going, pad? And the only pad I knew about was a pillow.
Yeah, or a writing
And
pad.
I was like, well, how can you do a pad? I said, this is electronic. I didn't say a word. And then later on, some years later, I found out what an audio pad was. But you guys, and now you and Bob specifically, I thought, okay, I can't talk to those guys because they're up there. And as I remember, you were quieter.
I was quiet back then.
And I thought, he's not going to want to talk to me if he knows what I've done. But, Louis and I, we were talking, and that crew that we had a pride.
Oh, we did some amazing things on a pretty low-level truck, and we all did everything. I remember we did Detroit Emmys, and I was doing graphics of all things. And they gave me all the results beforehand. I'm like, I know what's going to happen. I'm typing it in. Don't look. You can't look at what I'm typing.
Yeah.
I still remember one of my favorite, Steve Hess was one of our engineers. And we had just done something at, I think it was Allen Park City Hall, might have been Melvindale, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
And the truck was all packed up, ready to go, and the mayor's secretary comes out and said, "The mayor said something wrong. We have to redo this whole thing."
Oh my goodness.
And Steve Hess said, and Dave Budwash had just left, and he said, "Well, unfortunately, the truck is gen-locked, and the guy that just left, he took the chroma key with him." And the secretary or the person just looked like, "Oh, well, okay."
So I guess you need the chroma key to
chroma
unlock
key
the gen lock.
undo the gen lock. So and Steve
Yeah.
Hess just came up with that out of the blue.
Wow.
And I tell people that it was just that guy could fix anything with a stick and
Yeah.
string and
Yeah.
some. But yeah, it was a great bunch of people. I guess it was a great bunch of guys. Do we have
It was
Terry,
Sherry,
that's right, Sherry Velty.
and I think every now and then some would come through and kind of, but those two.
Yeah, that's right. They were in
Yeah.
there for a while.
Yeah.
That was, it was a great bunch of people, and we did some pretty good events. And I remember we took the truck on the road once at Bookies. Were you on that show?
I wasn't on that one.
Oh God, it was like we went downstairs to make sure we could, do the cabling, and there's water on the floor, and we're
Really?
trying to run electric, and like, well, okay, but it turned out to be an absolutely great show.
Yeah.
So
So let's go back. How did you get started, or what? Like, did you have an influence?
I went to school with Jim Holly. Mm-hmm. He was in a bunch. We took TV production classes at Michigan. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know what the heck I wanted to do when I went to Michigan.
Really?
And I saw these broadcast classes, 101 speech communication. Said, "Oh, okay, that looks like I could get a good grade. Certainly better than my Shakespeare class."
Yeah.
And it just seemed to be something I like. So Jim and I had a bunch of classes, and he got the original job over at TV3 when they first got the franchise.
Yeah.
And he called me up one day. I was working at the public radio station in Ann Arbor, WUOM. I was reading news, not very well, but I was doing it. And he said, "You want to run a camera for an Allen Park High School baseball game?" I said, "Yeah, sure." For $4 an hour. At that time, it was probably more than I was making at WUOM.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, sure, that'd be great." And I haven't stopped. So that had to be 82 or 83.
Yeah.
And so I either thank or curse Jim Holly every day for that.
So you guys got there maybe a few months before I did.
Yeah,
then.
not too long before you.
And see, I didn't know. All I knew was didn't go to school for it. I knew how to watch my VU meters.
Right.
Because I recorded my own 8-tracks and cassettes and stuff. So I knew how to watch VU meters. And the first job I got was because I knew how to watch my levels. It wasn't because I could mix. It wasn't because I knew audio. I just knew how to not distort.
Keep it out of the red.
And so that's what I did. And then we came to TV3. Matter of fact, we were editing. We were working with another guy and this girl. And I talked to Jim and I said, "Well, we like to volunteer." Mm-hmm. And he said, "Well, you have to, when you graduate school, then you come and become an intern and whatever, and then you might be able to volunteer." And I thought, well, and so one day they had a shoot that next morning.
Okay.
And they knew Dave and I was in the edit suite, and Jim stuck his head in the door and said, "Who wants to do a shoot tomorrow?" And we raised our hand.
Yeah.
And the rest is history,
I think I had the distinction of never being an intern.
You started out as a freelancer.
Yeah, I was like Al Kaline, made it to the major leagues without going to the minors.
I remember either John or Ken told me, he said you volunteer for a year, then you become an intern, and then as positions open, you become a freelancer.
Right.
And we volunteered for 3 months. And then Jim he called me and said, "Well, you guys are pretty good. We want you to keep coming, so we're making you freelancers." And I thought, wow, because I was willing to do the year and whatever,
Well, they needed people at that point.
Yeah, but we did a lot of stuff. We did CBA
Oh God, I remember
And
driving down to
I think we went to Toronto one time, and then we went.
it was the place in Ohio.
Yeah,
The Ohio Mixers was the
yeah,
team.
yeah.
Didn't Bad News Barnes play for them? Or
I don't know. I don't know. But the thing about it is, I was talking about
Lime, Ohio.
we thought we were as good as anybody was doing for a network because we did the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's how I got started. I did a lot of sports. You know, we did all those high school games and everything. And then one day I got a call from a director who's at Pass, Mike Smith, and they needed some people to go out and do a Piston game.
Yeah,
And that's really where I moved forward from cable TV.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Pass was still cable, but
yeah.
to doing as much as I've done. And me, Don Cornelli, and DA, Donald Anthony, were out of the 8 or 9 people that they called in. We survived that first day.
Yeah.
I remember the second game was like, okay, Mike Smith, who I still see from that time to time, just screamed at us. But we were the only 3 that made it past the first game, and we kept going. And
You know, in this industry, if you can get past, those directors that kind of chew you up and spit you out, if you can come back,
right,
absolutely,
absolutely,
you learn it. And what I tell people, it's not you can't take it personal.
no,
It's the pressure of the game and the intensity, and you want to do really good, and you want to put your best foot forward, and everybody does. But then those directors, that pressure on them, and it just comes out. It's not a
Well, these days you have to be obviously a lot more careful than you did back in the 80s and 90s, as far as what you can say.
yeah.
So you don't see as many screamers anymore. But I worked with my share moving on through the years, and sometimes you did take it personally because sometimes the people were just real jerks.
Yeah. Well, you did run into those too. Yeah.
And we had one guy's name. Well, he's dead. I won't talk about the evil about that, but we would call it red light Tourette's. The moment the red light came on, and he would have these great meetings. You'd see him in the bar before and after, and oh, you guys are great, great, great. And he would just, anything he talked about in the camera meetings went out the window.
Yeah.
And if you didn't do everything that he wanted you to do but didn't explain it, he would just start screaming. As a matter of fact, he fired the entire crew after one football game.
Really?
Yeah. But those times are mostly gone. I think there's only one guy I know of who still is a screamer.
Yeah.
And then again, when he's done, he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Great game."
See, now Dave, when we started doing Ford,
Yeah.
and Dave and I talked about it before the shoot. I was really personable and funny and laughed, and then during the shoot, I didn't get any jokes, and Dave would come and he'd tell a joke, and I go, "What?" And he'd go, "Never mind." And I told him, I said, "My issue is I don't think they'll listen to me because I knew how much experience I had."
Yeah.
And so the guys we were hiring, they've been doing it 30 years. And I thought, well, and I figured they knew how long I had been doing it, but it wasn't even a matter of that. It was like my checks were clearing,
Yeah.
and I was paying their day rates.
Yep.
So what I had to do was I had to relax. And so the first time we did, I'd say, "Okay, Dave, how am I now?" And it is, you do have to back off and just take it easy and try to have as good of a time as you can.
Yeah.
Because of the pressure of the job.
Well, the banter is part of it. I'm very fortunate to work on a real high-level show of Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
And we just finished our last 20 years, starting our 21st coming up.
Cool.
And the stuff that gets said, mostly before the game, but on the PL, on the intercom.
Yeah.
And our director just lets it go. And he calls us idiots, and which is 100% true. But it just really relaxes people because once the game starts, it slows down, doesn't completely stop.
Yeah.
We've had this one thing about putting ketchup on hot dogs that seems to move its way through almost every year.
Yeah.
But it's nice that you can just kind of be light in a kind of a tense situation.
Yeah.
Sometimes that millions of people are watching, and if you don't, you've got to be intense. You've got to be focused.
Yeah,
You've got to do all that kind of stuff. But if there's not a little bit of lightheartedness that you can step back and enjoy while it's happening, you're just going to drive yourself crazy.
Oh, yeah. I tell people, excuse me, I can tell when somebody's gripping the camera too hard, too tight. And they're gripping it, trying to make sure they're steady. And I was like, okay, you gotta take your hands off that camera. You can't grip it that tight.
Yeah.
And they said, how do you know? I said, because the camera's shaking.
It's shaking. Yeah, you can tell.
You have to, Dave and I, we came up to, you run it with your fingertips or with the palms of your hands,
Right.
But it's that desire to do the best job possible, not the best you can, the best possible, which is unreasonable.
When you really want to do the best that you can.
Right.
And just, follow the ball, follow the puck, follow what's going on, and more times than not. And, they say you need 10,000 hours to really get it right.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the millions or something, but I'm not sure.
Now, you guys, so here's, we did hockey.
Yeah.
And I was handheld, and you're trying to follow the puck, and several times Dave and I both admitted this. You think, man, I'm following the puck pretty good now, and I went, wait a minute,
where'd it go?
It's a piece of dirt. So what I started doing before each hockey game, I flipped the viewfinder up and cleaned the dirt.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because I was like, well, I got it now, and I went,
oh. Well, it's. Nowadays almost all the viewfinders are color. Every now and again you'll find the black and white, but I can't tell you how many times I've done hockey with a puck size scratched right in the middle of the viewfinder.
Really?
Oh yeah, and just like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be fun.
Well, we thought about switching the viewfinder into negative green, so then the ice would be black and the puck would be white, but I never got the nerve to do it.
Yeah, I've tried that. I've tried that for baseball, and it just it plays tricks on your eyes.
Really?
And it really, because the reality is not there at all. I don't even like to get my the contrast all that high.
Really?
I just like to look at the game the way it's going to be on TV. For the most part,
I would set my contrast high and the brightness low, so that I could see out of focus. So that was my thing, was how to focus fast.
Yeah.
So then I would get, before they came with the focus assist, I would get, like, when the person was in focus, they get a white.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
Around.
Little.
So
aurora.
that was how I coped.
Yeah, you can, on some of the new cameras, you can actually have like a red or green.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, the focus assist. I've seen when they have red. I was like, boy, this is just nice.
Oh yeah, well, some of the new cameras too. Like I did a basketball game the other day. And I did a slash, and you can set your focus for near, middle, far.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, there they are.
Okay, I just aim the camera at you then.
Yeah, I mean, you can, you still have to hit the little square on the side of the viewfinder, but it's easy to find.
Yeah.
So you can look outside the viewfinder. Oh, there, you're good. Yeah. So
yeah. But
right now you can't blame your tools anymore.
Well, I tell you, we were doing Ford, and they had just built the Palace, and I thought, okay, I said, and I was in the industrial, so I was like, well, industrials pay more than sports, so that's the way I went. And I thought, let me call the Palace and see if I can get some of their industrial videos.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how I got this lady, but she told me, I told her who I was, what I did. She said, I'll give you every Pistons home game.
Wow.
And I said, no, I just want the industrial stuff.
Yeah, I don't want the Pistons stuff.
Like, no, they're working too hard. I do an industrial. I have my crew come in and tell, and whatever. But the sports was fun. And I enjoyed it when we were at TV3. Matter of fact, my goal was to become a camera operator, and I didn't know about handheld.
Okay.
And then when I saw handheld, I thought, okay, that's what I want to do, and that's what I wanted to be. And then I kind of got interested in the directing. I was watching, Jim and Terry and even Ben Weber,
Oh, yeah.
and those guys, and I thought, directing seems like it's really cool. You kind of putting it together
Get
that
to
way.
tell people what to do.
And I had done single camera, which was cool, and we had got pretty good at that. We had been doing it for about 10 years at Ford.
Yeah.
And I got an opportunity to start, doing some multicam, and I was listening to directors that I was running the camera for, and I would actually, hit the video return
Just to see
and
what's
just to
going
watch
on.
how they were cutting. I said, okay. And the first opportunity I got, I took it and learned it, and I focused. It's like, okay, what do I want to see at home? And, I started watching what other directors were doing, and I would pretend like, okay, what would I want to see at home? I wasn't about a lot of flash and stuff like that,
Right.
and trying to be creative and got the basics down. And that was like, wow, 30 years ago?
Yeah. It's funny you said you saw a handheld, and that's what you decided to do. The first Grand Prix in Detroit, when it was first also F1,
Yeah.
and I was working for a small production company just doing some piddly stuff. And I remember seeing a guy, there was an island in front of, it was Cobo Hall at that point.
Right.
And he was, following the cars around, and I said, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And 2 years later, I was running that camera.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then 3 years later, I was running a different camera on a different part of the course when a crash happened in front of me, which encased like all the cars. So I was the only camera. He had a helicopter, and he had me for about 15, 20 minutes before they cleared it. It's like, and I just remember the director kept saying, give me some other stuff. I said, I only got so much. All the cars are right in front of me.
Right, yeah.
But I remember that was like one of the first network shows I got to do.
Yeah.
And I remember, wow, that is what I want to do. And here I am today still doing it.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been, they say how time flies, and I guess it flies because when you don't see somebody, because you had your career, I had mine, and you work all those years. The only thing that surprised me was my wife asked me, she told me how long I had been doing television.
Yeah.
And she said, 40 years. And I said, no, it hasn't.
No way.
And she said, yes. And then when we counted, I was like, well, where did 30 years go? People
I know.
retire at 30 years, and 30 years just kind of blew by, and it was 40 years. And I tell you, I still feel like I just got started.
I don't feel like it just got started, but I don't feel like I'm finished yet. I'm 68 at the moment, and people ask me, when are you going to retire? I said, well, I'm still enjoying doing it.
Yeah.
The travel kind of, that's not as much fun as it used to be. It's not, just getting on airplanes these days is not as easy. But and the setup is still what it is. For Sunday night, we've got 25 cameras to set up on a weekly basis and tear them down. We have a lot of people.
Well, so you're only responsible for your camera, though, right?
Oh, no. I'm one of the setup guys, so I come in on a Thursday.
Oh, my goodness.
And we have to set up the cameras, I can never remember the name, but the ones with the yellow lines, the sports media cameras with all the
25
effects.
Well,
we don't set them all up. We set up like 9 cameras up on a Friday.
Okay.
And then the rest of the crew comes in gradually, and then the next day we set up the rest of them.
Man.
But
I didn't know 25 cameras, because I figured like Super Bowl, okay, but like for playoffs,
just a regular season. We're a circus every week, man. Wow. We've got 4 production trucks, an office trailer, 2 generator trucks, 2 or 3 trucks now just hauling gear across the country. And it's every week it's a new adventure. Yeah, and then Super Bowl is even crazier
Yeah.
when we do those.
How many cameras do they have for that? 100?
I don't even know how. I'm not sure anybody can count that high.
Really?
I think there were. I think we had about 60 actual operated cameras, with people behind them, some crazy amount. But that includes the pregame show, the halftime shows, and that kind of stuff. But it's a circus, like I say. But it's just so. But I still enjoy it. I still like doing the games itself. I mean, there's
right. Just
there's
the production
nothing nothing quite like the intensity of 3 and a half hours of just absolute focus as to what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the game cameras on the left-hand side, so
Oh yeah.
I'm not allowed to miss a ball.
Still doing game camera, because I remember, and then like we were doing baseball and things, and but let me ask you now: have you done golf?
I've done a little golf, and it's not my favorite thing in the world. It's really difficult. I haven't done very much of it.
So were you one of those cameras that, like, when they hit the ball in the air, then you following the ball in the sky?
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me, Dave and I have our theory. How do you see that ball?
Well, you shoot the contrast up as high as you can, and then you rely on your video guy to help you out. That's really, because they'll shade you on those shots.
Yeah.
But the key is keep the ball in the frame from the very beginning. Otherwise, you'll never find it again.
Yeah. And, well, because the thing about it, you're shooting the sky.
You're shooting the sky, so that's why your video guy is going to help you, or not.
So hopefully he likes you.
And baseball is a similar thing.
Yeah.
And see, the worst, baseball is rough in Detroit. Not so much a night game, but they configured the stadium kind of the wrong direction in Detroit.
Where's it facing? Where's home plate facing?
I forget which direction it is, but it's the wrong way. They needed it to go about 90 degrees off to the right, but they wanted to see the downtown skyline. So during the day game, almost every announcer that comes in says, "I can't see the ball off the bat." Said, "Yep, welcome to our world." So sometimes you just try to use the force.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you're looking for where the infielders or outfilders play.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
It's one of the few times where you just keep your head out of the viewfinder and look and see where everybody's going. And a ball that's hit way up in the sky, oh well. I hope it comes down in my frame sometime.
Yeah. Well, the one shot that I thought was interesting, I never had to do it, was the pull across when we were doing the high school games.
Oh, from the double play type thing? Oh, yeah. That was my favorite. That was at Old Tiger Stadium when I started doing Tigers back then. There was a guy named Jimmy Jewell who ran that camera for 100 years. He would always ask him, what's it like outside? Well, let's just keep it outside. Nobody knew what he meant, but he was an old guy like I am now. And he ran that camera, and it was situated about 15 rows up behind the first base dugout and right in the stands. And it was like one of the greatest positions ever in baseball.
Yeah.
You couldn't screw it up, no matter how hard you might have tried. And it was like, but it was perfect for exactly what you're saying. That pull across. That ground ball from the shortstop or the third baseman was just like, zzz, you're there.
And the thing about it is we did it so often. I remember I was third base camera, so I was right-handed batters, and then
left-handed batters.
Left-handed. Let's see.
If you're on third base.
Yeah. Okay. And you're right. And then I was the trailing runner.
Yeah, right.
After everything happened, I was the trailing runner.
Right.
And it's interesting that we remembered all that.
Well, there's a formula for baseball. Although nowadays, unfortunately, you've got a lot of these side-by-sides and dual broadcasts. So when the visitors come in, they're only bringing 3 cameras, so it changes everything because they let the home show pick up all the runners scoring, and you're just doing all sort of ancillary stuff and close-ups. But it's still fun.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
So Ray, where are we time wise? Because I kind of lost it.
oh, I have no idea.
Actually, you just hit 28:30.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and I figured out.
Well, that was fun. Let's go.
I figured I would end it right there. So now,
I didn't know if you wanted me to keep.
yeah. No, I needed you to do it. I was going to, but I forgot. But anyway, let me. So let me just wrap it up real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I'll say so. Mark, appreciate you coming. We're going to talk some more in a few minutes.
Okay.
But if you're interested in coming in and have a conversation, you can reach out to me at emerjtv@gmail.com. That's EMERJ TV @gmail.com. If you want to watch it, you go to my YouTube channel, type in RCSMGLLC. It'll take you to my YouTube channel. You can see this conversation along with many others. Also, you can catch it on YouTube Shorts. You also catch it on TikTok. It's hashtag EMERJ TV or hashtag RCS Media Group or hashtag Conversations. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Tell your friends about it, like it, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching EMERJ TV. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow along for short clips and exclusive content. Want to be a guest on the show? Reach out to Reginald Smith at emerjtv@gmail.com. And we'll see you next time right here on EMERJ TV. This has been an RCS Media Group presentation.